Hello everyone, welcome back to the tavern. Today we are taking the next look at the Blood Hunter class, and we're going to try to cover all of the subclasses, but I'm going to try to keep this video to under 10 minutes so it's nice and compact and easy to digest. So we're going to take a look at Ghost Hunter first. All of these subclasses, we get features at 3rd, 7th, 11th, 15th, and 18th levels. Sometimes it's increasing powers, sometimes it's a new ability. So Ghost Slayer, this is my personal favorite. It doesn't mix a lot of extra complex things in, gives you more opportunity to roleplay, in my opinion. So Rite of the Dawn, at 3rd level, you learn the Rite of Dawn Esoteric Rite, detailed below. Your rite damage is radiant while your rite is active. You gain the following benefits. Weapon sheds bright light out to a radius of 20 feet. Resistance to necrotic damage. Weapon deals 1 additional Hemocraft dice of right damage when you hit an undead. So this feels very Paladin, Smitey type of character. But this is radiant damage. So as long as you're not trying to be sneaky, where the light would give you away, this is going to be by far the most powerful right for anything until you any Blood Hunter has access to the I believe the psychic damage for the esoteric right at 14th level. Until you get access to that, Radiant is your best damage type, far and away. So I love this. You get it right as soon as you join the order at 3rd level. Curse Specialist, you gain additional use of your Blood Maledict feature. Just 1 extra free curse. Additionally, your blood curses can target any creature whether it has blood or not. This part feels more like a ribbon, maybe not a Dungeon Master decision. Maybe they're a little bit hard on you. Ethereal Step, when you're not incapacitated, magically step into the veil between the planes. Move through creatures and objects, as if they were difficult terrain. Objects in the ethereal plane, 1d10 force damage when you end. When the feature ends, if you're inside something, you're shunted. Take force damage equal to twice the number of feet you removed. Feature last number of rounds equal to intelligence modifier. So our first really big intelligence modifier matters. Get it once, and then in tier 3 end and tier 4 beginning, you get a second use between rests. This is short rests, so that's pretty nice. Brand of Sundering, 11th level. Brand of Castigation now exposes a fragment of your foe's essence, leaving them vulnerable to your Crimson Right. Whenever you damage a branded creature with your Crimson Right, your weapon deals 1 additional Hemocraft dice of right damage. In addition, the branded creature can't move through creatures or objects. All right, pretty cool. And the can't move through creatures and objects feels very in flavor with killing ghosts and stuff. Blood Curse of the Exorcist, 15th level. You've honed your Hemocraft to tear wicked influence from your allies, punishing those who would infiltrate their body and mind. You gain the Blood Curse Blood Curse of the Exorcist as your blood for your Blood Maledict feature. Doesn't count against you, so it's a free curse now. Pretty straightforward. Right Revival, 18th level. When you reduce to 0 hit points while you have an active Crimson Right but don't die outright, the right ends and you drop to 1 hit point instead. If you have rights on multiple active on multiple weapons, you choose which one ends. This is pretty cool because keep in mind it costs you hit points to reactivate the right, so it's not a way to keep staying up, but it does save you from going down maybe long enough for you to quaff a healing potion so that way you can get the right going again, and now you're good for another round. Very interesting. I like the idea of this. This definitely feels like it could lead to 2-weapon fighters being the best for this because you can activate the right on 2 different weapons. So now you have 2 ways to not die in a round, which is pretty cool. Order of the Lycan, this is going to be for all those people who love lycanthropy, werewolves, and things like that. They talk about the curse and the onus, how you can see it as a bad thing or a good thing. But that we'll move past that. That's more roleplay stuff. Heightened senses, we're going to get into the meaty mechanics. You adopt improved abilities of a natural predator. You gain advantage on perception checks, rely on healing. So you get keen senses, basically, or keen scent, whatever it is. The same thing that bears have, or keen scent, I believe, because it's hearing or smell. So it's a little bit better than the animal ones. Does not rely on sight, so that's pretty interesting. 3rd level, I think as a DM, I would just rule this as you have advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on your senses. Which, you can make an argument that some might not. Hybrid Transformation, bonus action transformation, 1 hour. You can speak, use equipment, and wear armor in the form, so you don't become bestial like the wild shape. It's just you're a hybrid. Form a revert, earlier as a bonus action. You revert when you drop unconscious, 0 hit points. or die. Feature replaces rules for lycanthropy within the monster manual. You must finish a short or long rest before you use it again. Set the option for hybrid transform in the character builder. So rules for advice for setting it in D&D Beyond. Transform, you gain the following features. +1 to melee damage rolls. That's pretty cool. Bonus increases to 1 at 11th and 18th level. Advantage on strength and saving throws. Really cool because this is... you can still use your weapons in this form. So as long as you're using a melee weapon, you have this bonus to your attacks. Or the damage from your attacks. Resilient Hide, resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical and non-silvered weapons. While not wearing heavy armor, you gain +1 to your AC. Really cool, super straightforward. Predatory Strikes. You apply your Crimson Right to your unarmored attacks as a single weapon. You can use Dex instead of Strength. So if you are a Dex build character, you can use Dex for that as well. You don't have to dip into Monk to gain that. That's pretty interesting. But it also means that you might want to make sure that you have a Dex weapon for when you're not in this form, because you will never be using unarmed strikes otherwise. You use the attack action with an armor strike. You make one unarmed strike as a bonus action. So it's like half of the martial arts that the monks get. Unarmed strikes deal 1d6 slashing, increases at 11th level to 1d8. Pretty awesome, actually. D6 slashing is nothing to scoff at. You're competing with a short sword at that point. Or a scimitar. Your claws are scimitars. Bloodlust. If you begin your turn with no more than half your maximum hit points, so bloodied is the term from 4th edition that's used for that. DC 8 wisdom saving throw, or you go into a frenzy, attack nearest things. You can choose whether or not to use extra attack, so you can play up the roleplay if you want to, or if you attack an enemy, you definitely want to use your extra attack. Then more than one possible target, roll randomly, then you regain control for the remainder of your turn after the attack. So if you have movement left, you can then move, or quaff a potion or something. Effect that prevents you from concentrating, like Barbarian's Rage feature, you automatically fail a saving throw. So you basically cannot combine this subclass with the Barbarian unless you are using your Rage when you're not in hybrid form, and you're using your hybrid form when you're not in Rage. Though I don't think that you would ever want to do either of them, because they're doing similar effects anyway. Better damage, as evidenced by here. Resistance evidenced by here. I don't think it's worth it to multi-class in that. 7th level, Stalker's Prowess, increase 10 feet. 10 feet to long jump, which is equal to your strength score. 3 feet to your high jump, equals to your strength modifier, +3. Improved predatory strikes feature. +1 attack rolls made with unarmed strikes. So pretty cool. So now your attacks are a bonus, and you have 1d6 +1. For your unarmed strikes. So now your unarmed strikes are basically a +1 weapon. It's like wielding a +1 scimitar, which is really cool. At 7th level, pardon me. 11th level, hybrid transformation twice, regain uses on short rest, and you gain lichen regeneration. Each of your turns before you roll for bloodlust, you regain hit points equal 1 plus your constitution modifier if you have at least one of your hit points. Love this ability. If I was building a character for a higher level and I wanted to play a blood hunter, this would make me want to play the subclass immediately, being able to have this regeneration built in. It's really exciting sounding. Brand of Voracious, 15th level, wisdom save, I believe. Add Brand of Castigation. Now binds your foe to your Hunter's Thirst. While in hybrid form, your attacks have advantage against a creature branded. And 18th level, you learn Blood Curse of the Howl, and does not count against you. Pretty cool. And hybrid feature, unlimited number of times, and lasts indefinitely. So you could basically live as that. We are not going to be underneath the 10-minute mark. That's okay. Order of the Mutant. So we have a whole bunch of formulas. The mutagens down here. And I'll parse through them real quick. But formulas, 3rd level, you learn 4 of them. You gain additional ones at 7th, 11th, 15th, 18th. So the other levels that we get something in the subclass tied to the other features. When you gain a new mutagen, you can choose one of the formulas you already know and replace it. So you cannot change that out on level. It's when you learn a new one, notably. So from what you pick on 3rd, you are stuck with until you hit 7th level, and then you can change out one of them. So pick wisely. 3rd level, you can concoct a single mutagen when you finish a short finish a rest. Starting 7th level, number of mutagens you can create increases to 2. 15th is 3. Bonus action, consume a single mutagen. The effects and side effects finish until you finish a short or long rest, unless otherwise specified. While one or more mutagens are affecting you, you can use an action, flush the toxins, and end it. They're designed for your biology, have no effects on other creatures. All right, that's fine. They are also unstable by nature, losing their potency over time. So they don't last past the next short rest. So each short rest, you can make one that will last until your next short rest. So might as well use it whenever you think that you might need it. Metabolism, 7th level, you gain immunity to poison damage. Awesome sounding. And the poison condition, very cool. In addition, you can instill a burst of adrenaline. As a bonus action, you can choose to ignore the side effect of a mutagen affecting you for 1 minute. That's awesome because you can imbibe it one turn as a bonus action. The next turn, use this bonus action to ignore the side effect for a minute. So now you are left with only positives from this mutagen, which is pretty solid. This is a huge feature, especially if you're in a campaign that takes a lot of short rests, especially if you have like warlocks as your primary spellcasters, fighters, like a bunch of short rest characters. This is fantastic because you might be short resting after every 1 or 2 fights maybe. And you can end the mutagen that you take as soon as you finish that fight anyway. Because I believe they mutagen, yeah, exactly. Brand of Axiom, 11th level, Hemocraft, altered brand of castigation, enforce a foe's true nature. Any illusions disguising or making a creature invisible when you brand them end, they can't benefit from such. If a branded creature is polymorphed to change shape, they make a wisdom save or revert to their true form and be stunned until turn. So really cool to keep them from changing shape. So you're very good against shape changers. Branded creature attempts to polymorph or change shape, wisdom saving throw or attempt fails, and they are stunned. So if they are polymorphed and you brand them, they have to wisdom save or revert and be stunned. If they try to, because they were in their original form, or they fail, they're stunned, and then their next turn they try to change again, they have a wisdom save and then they're stunned again. So pretty nasty against shape changers. 15th level, Blood Curse can rack. You gain Blood Curse of Corrosion for your Blood Maledict feature. So same theme. Each of the subclasses gets 1 free curse at 15th or 18th level. And then 18th, bonus action, choose one mutagen currently affecting you to flush from your system, and then then immediately have a mutagen you know the formula for take effect in its place. So intelligence modifier times per long rest, you can just hot swap one of the mutagens that you're currently being affected by with one of the other mutagens that you know, which is really exciting. Like maybe you definitely need something and then you can swap it out. So let's jump into this. Aether. So there's prerequisites, there's an effect, and the side effect. The side effects are all negative-ish. The main effects are obviously the positives. So at 11th level, Aether, flying speed of 20 feet for an hour. I could definitely see this being one of the ones you want to know for that exalted mutation, but maybe you don't prepare all the time. Alluring, advantage on charisma ability checks. Amazing. If you're in an intrigue adventure, or if you're not a dex-based character, the disadvantage on initiative rolls, who cares? Like, advantage on all charisma ability checks is massive. Celerity, dex score increases by 3, as does the dex maximum. Disadvantage on wisdom saves, nasty, but that's a huge bonus to your dexterity. If that puts you from a 19 to a 22, that's a difference of +2 to all of your things that use dex. Advantage on intelligence ability checks. I don't think I would pick this one. Disadvantage on wisdom ability checks. Maybe if I was a rogue, like a rogue multi-class, and I was using investigation checks and things like that to try to find traps, I would go for this. 11th level, Cruelty. Attack action, make additional weapon attack as a bonus action. Amazing. Disadvantage on intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. That's a huge drawback for a free bonus action attack. Definitely interesting. And I think this is one of the ones that you would want to combine with that 1 minute suppression of the side effect, because that's a dangerous side effect. Advantage on dexterity checks, disadvantage on wisdom, resistance to fire, vulnerability, resistance to cold, vulnerability to fire. So it's just the reverse of Embers and Galid. Impermeable, resistance to piercing, vulnerable to slashing. Makes sense. Mobility, immunity, grappled, and restrained conditions. So freedom of movement. Basically, and at 11th level, it is freedom of movement effectively. Disadvantage on strength ability checks. Most Strength ability checks. Are you climbing? Probably not. This is fantastic. I wish it added like 5 feet to your movement too. Night Eye, so if you're a human, this is a great pick. Dark Vision, 60 feet, increased by 60 feet. Sunlight sensitivity. This is a fantastic one if you long rest and are going to have a night adventure, or like going through a dungeon. There's basically no drawback to this if you're in a dungeon. Percipient, advantage on wisdom checks, disadvantage on charisma. All right, potency, strength increases by 3, so this is the same feeling. Disadvantage on dex saves. Dex saves are way more common than strength saves, so just the presence of this versus the other one, I would think I would go with the plus a dex build. Precision, 11th level. Weapon attack score critical hit, 19 to 20. Disadvantage strength saving throws, worth it. Rapidity, 10 feet, okay. Disadvantage intelligence ability checks, not worth it. I'd spend a feat on mobile. For 1 hour, at the start of each turns, you regain hit points equal proficiency bonus. Oh, amazing. Speed decreases by 10 feet for 1 hour. That's so worth it. Sagacity. Intelligence increases by 3. This is huge because you have things that key off of your intelligence score. Disadvantage on charisma saving throws. High drawback though. If you're a wizard, like a multi-class wizard, this might be worth it. And it increases by 1 in 11th and 18th level. So this turns into a +5 once you hit 18. Now, mind you, at that point, you're probably not multi-classed in a wizard. Vulnerability slashing, vulnerability bludgeoning, resistance slashing, resistance bludgeoning, vulnerability piercing. So pretty standard. And then extra use of blood maledict, disadvantage on death saving throws. Pretty nasty. All right, last one, Order of Profane Soul. This is a warlock subclass. So it's all pact magic. You use intelligence as your spellcasting. You have a few different features, spellcasting, cantrips, spells known. You are pact caster, so your spell slots go up to 4th at 20th level. 19th and 20th are 4th level spells, so you're not spending a lot on your slots. The slots are probably going to be used on utility spells. You're not going to be using them for damage. But you do get, like, you could learn Eldritch Blast, so there's that. And then you can be primary intelligence if you so choose. Spell slots, you don't have a lot of them. Right focus, active Crimson Right. Weapon is a spellcasting focus. Archfey, can't benefit from cover. Celestial, Blood Maledict feature to heal. That's pretty cool. Fiend, Rite of the Flame, deals 1 or 2. Reroll and choose which one to... you can reroll and choose one of the 2 dice to roll. So pretty cool if you're using Rite of the Flame. So you definitely go with that at that point. Great Old One, whenever you score a critical hit, the creature frightened, no save. Hexblade, your next attack against a cursed creature deals additional damage equal proficiency modifier. That's pretty cool. Hexblade, that sounds interesting. Like a Curse of the Eyeless, now they have disadvantage on attack, or all of their attacks because you amplified it. Now you have a bonus damage against them because you just curse them on their next turn. It seems like it'd be very good with a reaction blood curse. Undying, reduce creature to 0. You gain number of hit points, not temporary, equal to Humicraft die. That's pretty cool, especially against a bunch of enemies. And it doesn't say not a creature that is undead. It's all creatures to 0. Mystic Frenzy, 7th level. When you use your action to cast a cantrip, you get a weapon attack as a bonus action. Awesome. So now you still get to use the weapon attack, so you're just burning your bonus actions really quickly. I love that, Mystic Frenzy. So you can Eldritch Blast and then stab with your rapier or something. Blur, love Blur, fantastic. That's a very good. Celestial gives you lesser restoration. This is a 7th level feature. You get one of these. They all cost a spell slot. Scorching Ray, good, but I don't know if I would want to, especially because you're getting a 2nd level spell at 7th level. We're really late in the game. I want utility here. Detect Thoughts, very good spell in social situations, definitely worth it. Branding Smite, I'd pass up on it. And Blindness Deafness. So this is based on what your patron is. I think my top choices would be Undying, and Undying gives you the healing thing. The Archfey, which was the can't benefit from invisibility, and Celestial, which was healing. So far, I think Undying is the best one that I like. Sapping Scar. This is a free spell without a spell slot, so like the Mystic Arcanum from Warlock. Slow once, amazing. Revivify once, very, very good. Fiend, get a Fireball once, but this is a 15th level. Fireball, it's good, but it's not great. Haste, on the other hand, is amazing because you can now cantrip, throw your Eldritch Blast out, attack with your haste action, and then your bonus action is a weapon attack also. So now you have 2 weapon attacks in there. Blink once, I can't stand Blink, and Undying gets Bestow Curse, which is really cool. An 18th level, Siphon the Soul from Fallen Prey. You gain a Blood Curse of the Soul Eater. So this same theme, we get a free curse. So that is the subclasses for Blood Hunter. My top choice is definitely the Ghost Slayer. Feels the most thematic. I love the right damage. I love the ability to basically create light, so that way you can pick a non-dark vision race and still have a very cool thing. If you are playing a Blood Hunter in one of your campaigns and you disagree with my choice of Ghost Slayer being the most fun, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my content to anyone you think who might enjoy it. I really do appreciate it. It helps the channel grow. If you want to support me in any other way, my links to Patreon and PayPal are in the descriptions down below. Even $1 really helps. I truly appreciate it. I love making this content. I love D&D. And I would love to be able to do it more for all of you to enjoy. I will see you all next time.